It's time for your daily dose of half-hour hilariousness and maybe even a little bit of wrestling. We are the Wrestling Dorks. I am John, joined as always to my left by the Akeem the African Dream to my American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Sam, welcome to the show, sir.
That's quite a friggin' stretch.
It's a stretch, but I'm just saying, like, I'm clearly the original polka-dotted fat man. And then
yeah, I mean, well, Akeem was like a rip-off.
Right.
Like, they weren't tag team partners. Usually do tag team partners or something.
Well, I was going to go with my other one, the Sean Mooney to my Lord Alfred Hayes, but then you shot that one down. So
it was just that I didn't,
because you don't think Lord Alfred Hayes is that good, and I think he's amazing.
Let me tell you this, though. The Akeem gif, the Akeem dancing gif is one of the all-time greatest gifs, and the guy in the crowd does it. Yeah, so that alone, I mean, yeah, Akeem didn't cut a promo like Hard Times, but there's the Akeem gif that gets it even.
Yeah, there's no Dusty gif that like trumps everything. So we are here to talk about the week in wrestling and maybe even the week in allergies. We're not sure.
No, there's definite story there.
So let's begin with Monday Night Raw. What did you think of the show in general? I got a couple thoughts. It was definitely, as they say, a transitional show, like in between, like day after pay-per-view.
Yeah, and like let's come up with a reason that Braun and Roman don't have to be on. Yeah. And the show was just like meh, It happened. It was there. There's some things, and
yeah, I tweeted that out. I said, "Hey, it was a thing that happened." It's pretty much
May.
If there was Monday Night Football on, there's no chance in hell I'm watching it.
Yeah, May, June episode.
Yeah,
July. Oh. They're gonna be dog days of WWE.
Yeah, it is dog days. And the thing is,
that's why you listen to the Dorks.
Because we bring it up. You just got to listen to us for half an hour. You get the whole thing. We just give you the whole recap. I mean, we had some things like Sheamus and Cesaro finally, came out as heels now. It's not
kind of like it came out as heels, like they're coming out of the closet.
Nobody knew it. It just came out. It was all hidden.
Yeah, that was, teased for how many weeks. And they finally turned on him and kicked Jeff Hardy's tooth out.
Yeah, that was kind of cool how that his tooth blew out of his face. That was kind of nice.
I like how they showed it super slow-mo on Raw.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I guess we do have to recap Payback, too. I kind of forgot about that pay-per-view.
Yeah, Payback was the night before.
That's right. Oh, shit. Well, we got to talk about that. I didn't even write that down.
Yeah, well, I just assumed,
I guess I assumed, too. Well, yeah, he kicked his tooth out. And did you watch it in slow-mo? Did you see the referee, pick the tooth up?
Oh, I didn't see him pick it up. Oh, yeah. Saved it for him. He's like, I got that for you.
Because, Jeff is, laying there, and he, points to his mouth or something like that. And you can see the ref go, huh? And then he looks around and puts it right in his pocket. It's just kind of... But I'm surprised his mouth... if you kick my tooth out right now, I'm going to be bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
What kind of magic teeth does he have that just cauterize right away? It makes no sense.
Must have just came maybe clean out. I don't know.
I guess. Who knows? We had this thing at work the other day. It was teaching us how terrible we are as people. Just talking about teeth.
Okay. Because
the tooth thing.
You changed jobs, so you're not at the place anymore.
Well, no, this was telling us how fat we are because we drink soda. Okay. And what they did is they put a human tooth in a can of Coke for 4 days, and then it came out looking like goopy tar. So they were just showing although I don't usually soak my mouth in Coke, so I don't know. It just blows past my teeth and down. So
that's why they say you're supposed to always drink with a straw.
Straw. Yeah.
I never do.
No, I don't do that. That's stuff. Actually, I do if I have rum in there. I guess I'm immune. Yeah, I'm good. So what else with Raw bar here? What'd you think of Bray? Just I don't like that he just pops up, shows up, and then runs away. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, they've been kind of in the middle of moving guys around from show to show, and had a pay-per-view where there was guys from the one show and the other show, and so he got the dub though. He got the dub on Payback.
He did. He got the win
with the help of Jinder, like we said.
We called it as it was happening. I was like, I knew this was gonna. But what are your thoughts on House of Horrors? We didn't get to talk about it at all. We had no.
I didn't see Payback, I'll be honest.
Oh, my God.
So really? I'll tell you what happened. So I went golfing on Sunday afternoon.
Gonna go right into the story. That's right. You did. Okay.
I need to explain why I didn't see Payback. Yeah. Obviously I would have seen it otherwise. So this, I do enjoy golfing, even though I'm not very good at it. But, golfing, sex, podcasts, all things you don't have to be good at and enjoy. I'm not good at any of them. So
I debate that last one, but all right.
Was that podcast?
Podcast, not sex. I'm not debate your
You're
sexual.
You're the best. I know it, buddy. Don't get yourself down.
I've heard things.
So, so I go to this tournament. It starts 1:30, and I knew I was still going into it. I shouldn't have probably been out during primetime allergy season, but I go, and this fucking tournament had like 30-some teams. Literally, we didn't finish our round till a little after 7. So it was over a 5.5 hour round of golf.
Holy crap.
You're waiting, to play. And then, you had to wait for prizes to be announced and get your food and everything. So by the end of this round, people were like coming up to me thinking like I had got super drunk or I was super high. My eyes were so red. I had tears coming out of them.
Oh my God.
I looked like I was so messed up. And I went home, and then my asthma was kicking in, and I left my inhaler in the golf cart.
Oh,
dude,
my God, really?
Thought I was gonna literally I was having an attack kind of, but I didn't want to go to the hospital because it was, whatever. So finally, we tracked down. My sister had a spare inhaler, thank God, and I was able to get through the night and breathe. So yeah, when I got home, I was in no shape to keep my eyes open, watch anything. I just laid in bed, and kind of. Once in a while, I saw a text would come in. Somebody would tell me something about payback. So then I went back. I ended up reading, everything. So I can't really tell you, I heard House of Horrors was very hot garbage.
It was quite campy, and I'm hearing mixed reviews, and I feel like everybody should just stop trying to. Here's the thing.
I heard it was better when the Hardys were the Hardy compound.
Here's the thing. Payback itself had such low expectations that I think that anything that was anything, people were like, wow, that was really good. So I think because House of Horrors wasn't utter shit, people are like, you know what, it really wasn't bad. Because I read, and I was listening to the Ross Report today, like I do every Wednesday, and the guy that he had on as guest was like, oh, that was so great, the House of Horrors match. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was just a hardcore, because there wasn't even any you remember
now that JR's back on the payroll, he's got to have shills on.
I guess it seemed like there was shills going on because it was just a hardcore match. It was
pre-taped too.
Yeah, it was pre-taped. He got there at 6:30 at night San Jose time, and it's pitch black dark, which is all over. It's just everybody knows all about that crap now. It's just I don't know. It could have been done a little bit better. I think if they would have added a little bit more of the Bray Wyatt supernatural element. Because remember, what was it? Was it Mania?
Yeah, with all the ring
with the bugs
going
and stuff.
On, yeah.
Not that I liked that, but if you're going to do that, stick with it. Now he just has a creepy house where you're hitting each other with
They should have just had maggots in golf, Randy Orton, live maggots.
Just come up out. But it really was just a glorified, pre-taped. It was like the Hollywood Backlot Brawl with Gold Dust and Roddy Piper.
I've got maggots in my ears. I can't hear my voices talking to me. Something. Something.
Yeah, we're back on this. Last week you gave me all these props for being able to sing theme songs because of my Emma thing. You remember that one?
Yeah.
You're not as good.
No, you know what?
You don't have the abilities.
Kill yourself.
You don't.
Hey, we'll be taking open interviews to take over John's role.
Oh yeah, like anyone else could do this. I mean, come on now. But yeah, so I mean, obviously, Kevin Owens lost the title to Jericho at Payback, and then flipped it back to him, on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
why?
I watched that.
Do we know why?
Yeah, because Jericho needed to go away.
Well, yeah, okay, but why didn't he just lose on Sunday?
Because this allowed, WWE right now is all about the multiple title reigns. I think right now, they have a combination of do we want to have a guy have a really long title reign? Is that going to be more, or do we have him have a bunch say I was the 38-time U.S. champion? So, and plus it allowed him to do that whole post-match beatdown and everything.
I guess true, yeah.
And put Jericho on the shelf so he can go on tour with Fozzy. Okay. And it really hopefully he'll get Owens over. I mean, he's over, but I mean more as a heel.
Yeah. All right, I guess that makes sense. Once Jericho won on Sunday, I was like, all right, maybe he's going to stick around and actually just do a part-time schedule.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a curveball they threw at you too.
Maybe it did make me watch Tuesday night, and I was even out. I turned on my phone and was watching it, so because I couldn't get the Pirates game because for some reason At-Bat app sucks. But Hardy's kept the titles on Sunday night, so that was nice. I'm glad they didn't drop the titles already because that would have been shit.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to draw this out a little bit. So Cesaro and Sheamus. We talked about
attack
coming
them
out
afterwards. Yeah, I like it. I like that they came out and took them down.
Yeah, and now they're on the. They've been on the same page, and I kind of like it. The end game of this has to be somehow the Hardys being broken. If it isn't, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, and we're gonna touch base on what I wrote down here at the end. But I hope that Vince isn't just we don't need him to be broken. I can...
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Because it's going to get stale fast.
I really could see him doing that. But I told you I think it was last week, that I'm down with the slow burn. I really am.
Oh, before you weren't. You were Mr. I need a payoff.
No, I said the Hardys I want a slow burn.
No, but other times you're like, I don't think it can last this long. Jericho Owens, who called that.
You did call that? I'm calling the Hardys now. So I can be the one next year at WrestleMania. I go, this is the main event I wanted. Assuming we're still in the air at this time next year. We will see. It's
you mean assuming we're not like in WWE ourselves?
Well, yeah, I'm going to be Sam Roberts.
Yeah, and you're almost as ugly as him.
I'm almost. Somehow they picked the ugliest possible podcast guy to go on. Like, we are literally better looking than Sam Roberts, and we are like
it's not saying much.
The 250,000th ugliest people in Reading. So yeah. What do you think? I personally, Jinder Mahal, I think they're doing a good job. He's just like doing terrible heel things, winning by shenanigans.
Yeah, real heel, yeah.
Like
Maharaja
stealing belts. Did you see the very opening of SmackDown?
With Shane and
I liked it. I mean, I think they're taking
classic
a guy.
Heel.
Yeah,
plus it helps he's foreign.
It works.
Tried and true.
If you're just a jerk,
and then they got those two midget foreign guys next to him, like his own J&J security.
It really is. They wear like little, like really bright shirts.
Yeah.
So,
okay, let me bring up something. How in the blue hell? What is with these announced weights? How's Jinder Mahal announced at 225? And a couple minutes later, Ty Dillinger. Is everybody 225? Is that the weight? They're like, shit, what are we going to say this guy weighs? Well, we can't say anything 205 because then he'd be a cruiserweight, but yet they announced Balor at like 190 or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. Listen, I mean, maybe Jinder Mahal is 225. I mean, his 225 looks a fuck ton better than my 225. I'll tell you that. But it's not possible. Jinder Mahal's a huge fucking dude.
Are you sure you heard it right?
Yes.
All right.
That him and Ty Dillinger both announced at 225.
And isn't Nia Jax listed at 280? Which, that's believable.
Yeah. I mean,
but there's no way she outweighs Jinder Mahal by 60 freaking pounds, right? I think that there's something wrong with that.
Well, she's pretty big.
She's big, but he's a big, tall, muscular dude with like shit running through his veins.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense with all the weird weights. Like now, like I know before, like everything was like totally like pumped up and not believable.
Yeah, because they're cartoon characters,
but like now the weights, like I've got like Braun's 385, which he's probably a legit like maybe like 320, 315. You know, so the weight, they're all over the fucking place and it bothers me, all right?
I could tell it bothers you. But maybe the 205 guys, are their weights inflated too? Because some of the guys have listed at like 195, and I'm like, there's no way. I'm 195,
right,
and I'm like
it could be.
I don't know. It just seems...
Maybe from now on, everybody's weight, they're you're a cruiserweight, you're 195. You're not a cruiserweight, you're 225. If you're huge, you're 385. If you're Big Show, you're 399. Like...
Yeah, no, it's a problem. It's clearly a problem that's sweeping the nation. It's driving you crazy.
It bothers me, and I think also, I don't know where the hell we are in this thing, but I found a better flow to it than the shit you wrote down. So
I'll be honest, I wrote one and left it at work, and then I wrote it back. I tried to write down what I had.
You're a giant piece of shit. Anyway, so we're talking about why the weight's pissing me off, and I don't know where that came into here. But anyway, that ties us down to here. Pick of Raw
guys
in Rome.
You can't read my writing.
Yeah.
Right. It looks like this word is lasagna down here. So we're going to talk about lasagna later tonight, apparently.
That'd be sweet. But the pick of the... So I'm talking the weights, and that's talking about kayfabe. What in the blue hell is Titus O'Neil fucking thinking?
Idiot.
We need to suspend... We like suspending our belief.
A little bit,
son of a bitch is still real to me, damn it. And now you're posting pics. I don't know if you guys seen this shit. No, tell them what happened. I'm fired up.
You are too fired up, and I took a drink because I thought you were going off on a tangent. There's a picture of all the guys in Rome because they're doing a European tour now. And it's a picture, and I don't remember who all's in it, but it's like Curtis Axel... Titus O'Neil, and
Heath
then Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman in the same photo. And look, we're not idiots. We know they don't actually hate each other, but
they just did this big brutal motherfucking thing.
I don't want to see them. I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
I know it. I don't want to see it.
Like, I think part of the thing, like when I'm watching UFC, and I know UFC's real, but these guys like build up the fights by like really talking shit on each other, and you can feel sometimes like the hatred, even though if it's manufactured or not, and it gets you into it more. Whereas this, like these pictures come out, and you're just like, "Fuck, why is Braun?" What? First off, they shouldn't have posed for a picture together, regardless. But Second of all, they probably didn't think it was going to get posted online, and that's fucking Titus's fault for being an idiot.
Yeah, if he got suspended 30 days for touching Vince McMahon 2 years ago, he should be suspended for a year.
He's going to lose this huge push he's got going on right now, where he's Apollo Crews like manager or whatever.
By the way, your rap last week cracked me up. I always go back and listen to the show, make sure we actually do a good job about how Titus O'Neil can only be associated with black dudes. I was dying laughing at the gym. First of all, because at the gym, I could only hear Sam. I couldn't hear myself. So I'm making a conscious effort to talk louder to this week. So if I'm not talking loud enough, please say something to me because...
Actually, they say, talk softer.
Yeah, they're probably saying, could you maybe just have a Sam show? You just produce, which means
well,
you do nothing.
It's the Sam show.
Look at that. See that? Look how loud that is. That's how... That was you yelling, well, and then this is me down here with my mumbles.
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, let's not kill kayfabe. Imagine if... in like March, if we'd have seen a picture of Miz, Maurice, Cena, and Nikki all out at dinner together,
right? Which we probably wouldn't, because there's probably a little bit of hate there, which is why it was interesting,
right? So, if you're not going to have actual hate, don't let me see you out as friends.
Vince would have fucking...
don't hang out with Curtis Axel.
Vince would have fucking killed somebody if there was a picture before WrestleMania 3 count. Granted, I don't know how a fucking picture would have came out back in 1987 is probably half the problem, but if fucking, a picture of Hogan and Andre palling around together, you know?
Well, wasn't that a big thing when Duggan and Iron Sheik were arrested?
Yeah.
Because they were together. Now, I mean, they had drugs, too, or whatever.
Right.
They were together, and they were supposed to be having this huge feud leading up to WrestleMania, 3 or 4?
And it wasn't 4, but it was like in there.
3.
But they were...
Either way.
It was a bad guy and a good guy together, basically, is the problem. And... back then it was when you were on the road, you were supposed to stay with the good guys and the bad guys stay with the bad guys.
Yeah.
And now you see all these old time pictures coming out. I follow people on Twitter, and you see, there were all these cool pictures taken back in the day, and I guess it was different because there was no, Twitter.
Yeah,
there was no internet.
It is a different time. I mean, I guess, like you said, we know it's not true, but just...
Yeah, keep it away from us.
Keep it away from us. You don't have to put it in our faces, Titus O'Neil. Put that shit away.
Speaking of Braun, did you see it? Somebody posted on Twitter. I guess his dad was like, he looks exactly like the professional softball player.
And he was like an amazing hitter or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he does look similar. So, Braun and Roman from Payback. Oh, you didn't even watch it.
Yeah.
Did you read anything?
I read it word for word, like what happened. Yeah.
I mean, it was a good match. I really like that. They did a good job. I still hate Roman Reigns, the character, as much as I ever did, but they're trying
to get him sympathy. But everybody's sharing Braun though.
Right,
Braun's like a huge over babyface.
Yeah, it's a thank you, Braun. And
the only reason is because he's beating the fuck out of.
Yeah,
Roman.
if he was beating up somebody else, if he was doing this with Finn Balor, he'd be the most hated guy in the world. But because it's Reigns,
and because Vince refuses to acknowledge.
So, but wait, here's the thing though: if he was doing this to Balor, all right. He would be booed like crazy, and he would just be squashed and done with. But they've been able to drag this out.
Who would be squashed and done with?
Braun.
I don't think so.
Because somebody would beat him. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Did you forget that Reigns already went over Braun clean? Are we supposed to forget that?
Yeah, but I don't know how I'm trying.
They erased that?
No, I think what I'm trying to say is, I think that WWE is now consciously not turning Roman Reigns and putting him in our face. They're putting him in our face so that they can build other people against him now. Do you know what I mean? I think Braun is now bigger because he's taking down.
Right? Yeah,
Roman,
definitely. You know what I mean? But is that really what they wanted, to turn Braun Strowman into this I
guess maybe I'm giving him
a face, it gets cheered.
Maybe I'm giving him too much.
I mean,
credit.
He did push Kalisto off the stage. I mean,
yeah,
and you're supposed to feel sorry for Kalisto.
Yeah, which, by the way, that's kind of funny. If you look back at it, the dumpster falls 2 feet off the stage, and then 5 minutes later, Finlay is able to jump down in a suit. Off the same distance.
I remember when he was setting up. I'm like, oh my god, I wonder how far this drop is, and then it kind of just tipped over.
Yeah, it's just
that was nothing.
Yeah. So that's my theory on the Roman thing. I'm thinking maybe I'm giving WWE too much credit, but maybe they're all right, this guy's never going to be over, and we're not turning him heel. Let's put other guys against him to build them up.
No, they're not thinking that.
They're not thinking that? Okay.
Ain't fuck no. And that'll take me to my lasagna point that I wrote down here. It's actually Lagana, and for anybody listening, Dave Lagana, he was a writer for WWE, TNA, wrote for WWE for 3 years. All my followers out there, I just retweeted the one article he just put out. It was basically him writing the 5 ideas, or my 5 best ideas that WWE didn't do. It's just a cool insight into ideas that got pitched that didn't happen. So definitely check it out. it made me think of when we were just talking about different ideas and like what stops them or whatever. And then he was writing down, I guess, his two biggest. He wrote down too, like, I guess what he considered his two best ideas that got. He actually wrote the, which was amazing. He knows it too because he said it was his two best. The Mark Henry fake retirement angle.
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And then his other one was, you know what?
Oh, so he wrote that. That's actually a big one.
It's slipping my mind, but then he wrote like some of the things that didn't go through, like. He wanted it to be Rollins, Ambrose, and Cassius Ohno, not as necessarily the Shield, but as a faction coming into WWE. That he had a whole big story. It's all interesting stuff. Check it out. We're gonna tweet at him, trying to get him on the show.
Yeah, we can.
He's gonna be in Philly, I guess, coming up. So I don't know, it'd be cool. I always followed him. It's just cool to get insight of a guy that wrote for major professional wrestling, and he had some good story. Like he brought up about how. The Goldust and Stardust storyline got dropped after one match.
Yeah.
He originally had pitched that basically instead of doing it the way they did, that they would bring in Brandy, Cody's real life, who was working for WWE, and that she would turn into almost like a Marlena type character, and he would still be Stardust, and then that's how they would get to the. And then he's just said basically like Vince tired of the feud after one match.
Wow.
And then the other one I thought was interesting, it was definitely a Vince comment, was back when Daniel Bryan and what was it? It was Kate. He was talking about Caitlyn, the character Caitlyn, and Caitlyn. He wanted to pitch Caitlyn would be attracted to Cody Rhodes, okay? Because she said she liked mustaches and Cody had the mustache or whatever. Whatever. It got dropped right away, and Vince in the back said something like, well, Logano's like, well, what happened with the whole thing? Weren't we doing Caitlyn and Cody? He was like, well, the Bella Twins are back. If a Bella Twin looks at you, why would you talk to Caitlyn?
Wow.
And it was just like, that's how he like it, and I guess Logano was apparently like, well, you may not find her attractive, but there's a lot of men out there that do find Caitlyn attractive, and he was just like, what? Like, so you could see how Vince rules in the back, with certain ideas and how he even thinks like looks wise. Wow. I'm sure he ranks all the bitches, and
I'm sure he does. So
and I don't mean bitches be mean. I just mean that's how. That's what I'm saying. Vince probably calls them bitches.
Yeah, he's assuming Vince says bitches because Sam doesn't say that.
No, definitely not.
So Vince has a thing for old Italian-looking women, huh? That's cool. Yeah. Anyways, so did I tell you about Corey Graves and Tom Phillips? Did you get to watch that video?
Yes.
Nice.
I only got to watch it because you played it for me.
God damn it, man! We just talked about kayfabe, and you're supposed to. Where's the sense of disbelief?
Well, they know this isn't real.
I was supposed to say, "Did you catch the video?" And you were going to go, "Oh yeah, that cool video. Let's talk about it." No,
you sent me a message at work, and I didn't get a chance to see it, so then I had you play it from here.
So there's a video.
These humanoids might not know what's going on. Explain it to them.
So months ago, as I'm sure you don't know. I don't know.
I didn't know about this.
Tom Phillips some text messages of his were released. Some sexts were released. Some chick that I guess he was seeing on the side, I think is what the deal
was. Oh, it was on the side.
Yeah. And this allegedly, let's throw allegedly all over this, sprinkle it all over this whole story. Things like talking about how he's got a 4-hour flight and he's gonna face fuck the shit out of her. That was what the text said. And
not you.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No, I don't say that stuff. No, that's what the texts were saying. So then, anyways, last night on 205 Live, which I'm sure you all watched as well. If you didn't catch it, Corey Graves at one point is talking about Noam Dar and Alicia Fox breaking up, getting back together, and he made just a little tiny joke about, well, he had less than a 4-hour flight there, Tom, so I don't know what he could get done. And just you could hear Tom Phillips is cracking up, and it's just cool. It would be like if we were announcing, well, we have to pretend we're friends, but if we were announcing and I wanted to bust your shit, but I didn't want everybody to know, it's like that.
Even though everybody knew, because I just went on Twitter because I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah,
and even the comment he said before that, at least he didn't get caught sending DMs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, and then Corey Graves, he seems like a really stand-up guy.
He seems like a cool dude.
Maybe it's just because comparing him to Bradshaw, but either way. But then he tweeted out, if
he's not a bully.
If you can't make fun of your best friend, who can you make fun of? So So what else do you want to talk about wrestling-wise? Because I did want to touch on the Tapped Out Breastathon that we had over the weekend.
Yeah, talk about Tapped Out breasts.
Yeah, so Tapped Out we can mention MCs and sponsors at a breast cancer awareness, the Man Olympics, I believe, in Georgia is what they're called. And some money was raised, and there's a hot new Tapped Out T-shirt coming out that we should be getting in the mail soon.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, we'll be wearing that all over town. But we are going to try to get a couple guests in here for a special Wrestling Dorks, maybe not just the Guerrilla Press episodes. We might be able to do like a live, because we have that call-in line that the guys do.
Yeah.
We could easily just jump on there, and then your dude just calls in. He doesn't have to like be somewhere. You know what I mean? Just have him call in. So.
No, I'm having him come right to the studio. My dude. You know how big of a long shot it would be? I'm going to have you tweet. I'm going to have you do it.
Oh, you want me to do it?
You're the official handle of the
All
Dorks.
Right.
So I want you to tweet at him and be like, come on our podcast.
So the other big news, Jen is going on a girls' weekend this weekend, and
J Lucky Sunshine.
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm assuming eat cheesesteaks and watch baseball all weekend. I don't know what to do. I haven't.
Yeah, it's going to be strange.
I haven't not had a girl by my side for 15 years. It's going to be I'm going to be
video games.
Probably just video games. Yeah, probably no pants. A lot of video games, some cheesesteaks, and then some. I was thinking maybe golf, but I have this allergic friend.
Yeah, I'm not going for a while. I got Saturday. I'm booked. Saturday is the Kentucky friggin' Derby.
I know, it's the Derby.
So, but yeah, Friday we'll definitely have to non-wrestling Dorks related hang out.
Yeah, I don't know how that's.
Maybe we can record. Maybe we'll have to record a podcast just because we're together.
Yeah,
maybe
I feel like
a one-off one or something.
Yeah, I feel like if we don't want them to be like
one of our famous lists.
Ooh, we could do a list episode. Look at you.
You just made the list. He had too many people make the list, by the way, the other night. Like he had
Aiden English.
Yeah,
and he put the girl on the list.
Yeah,
too.
How does Aiden English make the list?
Because he was crying. There's no crying in wrestling. Come on, he was crying. I know. I like the Aiden English crybaby thing they're doing. If he's going to be super jobber, which leads to eventual WWE #1 contender, apparently down the road, might as well give him a gimmick.
He's going to need to get some steroids pumping through.
Yeah, really. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. We're going to be woman free this weekend. We got Tapped Out Network is still going very, very strong. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter at Wrestling Dorks. Follow this guy over here at Lord Alfred Hayes and
at the Real SCAV, mofos.
And we are going to work on getting that big guest this time. Sam's going to tell me what to say to this guy. I'm going to schmooze him.
Yeah,
you're basically saying, what's up?
Hey, we'd love to have you on our podcast.
No, that's it.
DM us if interested.
Oh, I was going to say maybe I'll send him a link to the episode and he can hear what we say about him.
This episode?
This one. You just talked about lasagna.
I know. Yeah, it's going to go real well. You keep calling him lasagna. Hey, why you got to make fun of my fucking paisans here?
Oh, hey, it's always somebody. I always pick one group every week.
I feel like we could be land like Obama at coming on to our podcast, and right before he comes on, you'd bash the shit out of him and he won't come on. Like, you wouldn't even wait for him to come on and bash the shit out of him.
Look, you want me to play the heel commentator, I'm going to play it. I'm not going to half-ass this.
You can play the heel commentator when you're JBL and fucking Vinnie Mac loves you. When you're making $1 million a year.
When I can't even get my boss to come on as a guest, you're saying maybe...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should be a little bit nicer to the potential guests, but fuck them. So that's it. Thanks for listening to the Wrestling Dorks this week. We will catch you next week, guys, and if we're still alive after our wild, wild weekend.
Friday. Cheesesteaks.
Yeah, like an hour of baseball. And
Derby. Hey, maybe I'm going to hit the Derby for $50 billion.
And then what? Then we can get some real recording.
You know what?
Stuff.
I think I should give my Derby pick before we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that way it's recorded.
It is recorded. All right, I'm listening. They had the Derby draw today.
You're so excited. You leaned forward like
Derby draw. See, dude, it's one of my other passions. I'd love to start a horse racing podcast. So, horse is called Looking at Lee. It's #1, so it'll probably get some action just because people like betting numbers and people like the #1. So, but Looking at Lee, deep closer. Big odds, 20-1 morning line, probably going to be somewhere 20-25-1. Put a couple bucks down on it, and when it comes through, tell them at the Real SCAV sent you.
Yeah. Send a couple bucks to old Lunky Sam over here.
So that's my pick.
All right, well, now you've got the pick, and my pick is that you show up on Friday with no money. Oh, no, wait, the Derby's the next
Derby
day.
Saturday.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
and I could fuck up a
Silk
podcast. You couldn't... You couldn't smooth a silk shirt in a windstorm or whatever. Does he even say? Is that what
I don't know what he says.
Anyway, wow, we've really gone off the rails this week.
Yeah, I love it.
Maybe next week we should prepare.
No, we were fully prepared.
We had lasagna written down. This is us. This is what you get. So, thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week.